I would have laughed if someone told me at 77 years old that I would spend 2 months in a nursing home. I didn't think I'd be there yet, but life has a way of teaching us lessons when we least expect it. I thought it would just be a short stay to help me recover, but those 2 months changed me. They showed me things about AG, my regrets, and life itself that I had never seen before. Some lessons were painful, others were enlightening, but they were all necessary. I met people who had been there for years. Some had family visit, others had been forgotten, some were at peace, and others were full of regret. During those quiet conversations and late-night reflections, I learnt 7 lessons that I think everyone, young and old, needs to hear. Because no matter how young you are now, one day you will be old, and when that time comes, what kind of life will you have lived? As you might think, a nursing home is only about medical care, food and shelter. But what I learnt is that the hardest part of old age is not the physical pain, but the emotional pain of loneliness. Some people here haven't had a visitor in months or even years because their kids are too busy or their friends have moved away. No matter how good the staff is, they can't replace the warmth of family. I learnt that loneliness is the hardest part of old age, and I wish I had built stronger relationships before I got here. I wish I had spent less time chasing money and more time making meaningful connections. Second, health is more important than money. I met a man who used to be a successful businessman. He owned many properties, drove expensive cars, and traveled the world. But now his body has betrayed him. He can't eat without help, and he can't walk. His wealth doesn't matter when his body won't obey him. No matter how rich you are, you can't buy back your health. If I could go back, I would take better care of my body, eat better, and stress less. Because what good is money if you can't enjoy it? Number 3, things made of matter lose their meaning. I used to have a house full of furniture, clothes, decorations, and other things I had gathered over the years. Now I only have a room with a few things, and you know what? I don't miss any of it. The things we spend our lives collecting will eventually become meaningless. The only things that matter are the memories we made and the people we shared them with. If I could go back, I'd spend more time making memories and less time collecting things. Number 4, imagine making your own decisions your whole life and then having to ask for help with the simplest things, like getting dressed, going to the toilet and eating. That's the reality for many people here. If you can still move, think clearly, and do things on your own, cherish it and don't take it for granted, because the day you lose your independence, you will realize it was one of the best gifts life ever gave you. 5. True happiness comes from simple things. There was an 85-year-old woman here who always had a smile on her face. When I asked her what made her so happy, she said, "I don't think about what I lost. I enjoy what I still have." She taught me that happiness isn't in big things, but in small things. A warm cup of tea and a good talk, sunshine on your face when you stopped trying to find happiness and saw that it was always in the little things. Number 6. As I spent the day in the nursing home, I saw many people carrying the weight of old grudges against their children, past friends, and even their late spouses. And I noticed something. The people who held on to their anger were the ones who suffered the most. It wasn't their enemies who were in pain, it was themselves. One woman told me this, her voice shaking with regret. There were times when I wished I had forgiven my sister while she was still alive. Those words kept playing over and over in my head, and I realized that a heavy heart only weighs the person who carries it. I made a choice. I let go of past pain, words that could never be taken back, and regrets that could never be undone. Suddenly, I felt lighter, as if I had been carrying stones in my heart for decades, and at last I had put them down. If there is someone in your life that you need to forgive, do it now, not for them, for yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't want your last thought to be, I wish I had let go sooner. 7th, every day is a gift. Don't waste it. One morning in the nursing home, I woke up to hear that a resident had died in his sleep the night before. He had been laughing with us at dinner, telling stories of his life well lived, and then he was gone. At that moment, something inside me changed. I realized that life is fragile, no matter how healthy, strong, or careful we are. We waste so much time on things that don't matter, on worries that never happen, and on regrets. We hold grudges, put off the things that make us happy, and say to ourselves, "One day I'll do this or that." But that day never comes until suddenly it's too late. That was the most important thing I learnt. Live while you still can. Don't wait for the perfect time to enjoy life. The perfect time is now. Tell the people you love how much they mean to you, and don't make excuses. Make memories. Appreciate every sunrise as if it's your last laugh every chance you get, because when your time comes, you won't regret the things you did. You'll only regret the moments you let slip away. Every day is a gift. Don't waste it. 2 months in a nursing home may not seem like much, but it was enough to change me, enough to make me realize that life is not measured in years, but in moments, and the quality of those moments is shaped by the choices we make every single day. Some people in that nursing home had no regrets. They had lived well, loved deeply, and were at peace. Others wished they had done things differently. More than anything, I learned that aging is not about how many years you have left, but how you spend the ones you do. I no longer fear aging, but I do fear wasting time. If you're watching this, no matter how old you are, remember this: don't wait until it's too late to value your health, your relationships, and your sense of purpose, because when you're sitting in a room with nothing but memories, you'll wish you had made more of them. Life is short, so live it with purpose, love without fear, and most of all, never take a day for granted.